Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we're going to be checking out the Awakened version of Fawkes. Now overall guys, still shocked getting a lot of very positive feedback on the design of the hero itself. And of course, going from a light bear to a Greyborn is absolutely breathtaking. So let's go ahead and look at these Arena of Trials. I love how he looks. I think he does look very sharp. The way that he's built, the way that his coffins do work in there, it seems like this is a hero that we are going to want to build. And of course, on the YouTube account, absolutely going to focus on him, going to build him as he is. But I want to see now, remember, when we start in the guild trials, a lot of times it's a little more difficult to go in here and build these heroes. But because he is a mage, defensive wise might be a little bit more difficult, but we should be able to test and see some of the damage out of here. Now, remember, we do start at 360 and you can see the heroes are kind of basic, or the enemies that you fight are kind of basic. And we're going to start this with just him. Now, the reason we do this, when we look at kind of a baseline of where we see the heroes, they are roughly around, and if I remember, about 30 to 40 million. Now, remember, he's not going to do anything. So the coffins are going to pop up. Boom. Once he gets all four, then he pops up, killing everyone except the Awakened version of Thane. That is epic. That is 41 million damage, but that is absolutely pretty epic. And I feel like that's going to be the exact same thing that we're going to see in all of these battles. Now, this, unfortunately, is going to make it a lot more difficult to test damage, because if they're running around and they're just doing damage on other targets, and look at that, guys, we already popped Hendrik right there with shield, got the immunity. Wow. Yeah, this is 60 million damage there, which is pretty high. Let me hop out. Let me put this up a little. I didn't even think about him being untargetable in the very early parts. When he enters battle, he is completely untargetable. So I'm almost wondering like where the damage is going to kind of scale, because it's going to pop up the coffin right there. There's two. Now we start doing damage. And of course, we have the Awakened version of Sophia, and he almost kills everybody right off of the bat. Wow, that is really cool. 123 million. And again, doing quite a bit of healing, because remember, the coffins that he pops up are going to do damage, but they are also going to heal the allies that are there. So getting a lot of healing in there as well. This is pretty interesting. This is going to be pretty interesting, because I'm thinking about, when the heroes pop up, and again, if you're thinking of like one boss, is he going to drop all of these coffins on one single boss for the AoE damage in there? That's going to be super interesting to see if that is going to be the case. If he's going to go in here and he's going to drop all of these. Yeah, 177 million. You know what? Let's turn it up. Let me do one or two more battles, and we can turn it up a little bit higher in the level of efficiency. And again, that's really interesting, because boom, we'll go ahead and pop one up. Now it's doing damage. Number two, we see a little bit of damage being taken there. Now you're almost stacking these coffins around everyone, and we almost killed everybody right there. They start proccing that AoE damage. I'm wondering if we can take Brutus. Now look, he teleported away, and then he burned Kren, and then he took out that Awakened version of Brutus. Yeah, 134 million damage right there. Let's take this up another probably 50 levels. And again, I was kind of thinking continuous damage, but being a mage, we know they are relatively squishy. And I'm wondering if, yeah, we have nothing on here. I'm wondering if we have some really strong artifacts in here, or some really strong collections. This would be a game changer in here for the amount of damage that we'd be putting out early. Again, if we had some really high kind of collections on here. There's 1, 2, 3. There comes number 4. Now, boom, he's going to come out. Look at that. The original Fawkes just drops to the ground right there, guys. Yeah, takes out everybody again. 198 million damage. I'm kind of curious if he's being used in other game modes right now. Again, just because of how he is kind of built. Here we go. We start seeing some damage right there. Boom. Now that pops the damage on everyone. Hendrik goes down early. I think he's going to die. Oh no, he ults one more time. 262 million damage here. Wow. So even wondering if we put someone in here, let's say Astrilda, that's going to give him armor. So this is pretty much you're starting the battle with 4 heroes because every single enemy is going to be on Astrilda until he pops after that 4th coffin. And boom, there's the damage. Astrilda runs it through. There's his ult as well. And again, let's see kind of where this comes in. So 171 to 76 million. Now remember that awakened version of Astrilda was doing a considerable amount of damage before he popped, but he's at 171 million. And again, I'm kind of wondering, like, let's say like a Skyline in there as a damage dealer, because again, Fawkes is just going to drop up those coffins. Yeah, so Skyland's getting kind of run over. Or Skyland just kills everybody. It's kind of crazy in there. 220. So look, we didn't do any damage in there because Skyland kills everybody so fast. Let's drop in. And I'm thinking, let's drop in Leviathan. Again, it's just going to be Leviathan coming in here. So it's going to be Leviathan by himself. Getting tossed around right there by Oden. We're getting the coffins built up. Boom. Kills almost everyone. Yeah, there's Lady Simona. There's the other ult by Fawkes. Wow. Let's see where this comes in. So there's 510, 241 million damage. I am kind of curious again if he is being used different places. Let's go up to, let's do 560. So now we're looking at a 200 level deficiency. And again, the enemy team is just going to sit while these coffins pop up. 2, 3, 4, and here he pops. So 10 seconds in, he pops. And then, of course, remember that there's the cheat death. He has that cheat death as well. Oh my goodness. 432 million. I forgot his 4th ability, and I believe it's a 4th ability, but it does have that cheat death. Even looking at their health bars, I mean, that's doing a decent amount of damage right off the bat. And that is a big ultimate ability damage. Wow. Yeah, guys, that is pretty impressive. 588 million. And again, the battles are running pretty short. I mean, we're not having a full length minute 30 battle in here. That's pretty impressive. Honestly, that is pretty impressive at a 200 level deficiency. And of course, like I said, when we put collections on him, when we get some much stronger heroes or even buffing heroes around him, this might make a massive, massive difference to how well this hero does perform. Of course, here's the ultimate. Boom. And remember, he's going to go to different coffins in here. Got some crowd control right there, trying to take out Alero. And he does. 490 million damage. I think this is going to be pretty broken in some formations. Again, thinking of, let's just drop a bunch of awakened heroes. You know what? Let's drop out that hero. Let's get some immunity in here or some damage mitigation. Let's go with Gavis. I just kind of want to see where we're running in here and what this looks like. Because as a mage, guys, the damage can go through the roof on here. All right, so we're 10 seconds in. Boom, does his big damage. So now he's targetable, but remember, he does have that cheat death. Boom, another ultimate, takes out everybody else. Yeah, 400 million damage. And I mean, this isn't even built up right here with our mage tree. This isn't built up with a best in slot collection. This is just looking at a hero that is doing a lot of damage in different formations. Let me check and see if by chance. Now, the test server, of course, not a crazy amount of players that are playing on the test server, but absolutely want to check this out and see if we're seeing him in the Cursed Realm or the Nightmare Corridor really early. Let's see what Rocksta, if Rocksta did build him out, or if we have the trial version. So still running Scion in there. There, of course, is Envy. We do have Zora in there running that draconic version of Gwen. Not seeing him yet. So even right there is Lucius. There's Eron in there. Again, it might be too early in here. And then the Awakened version of Athalia. And I don't even know if some of these were before his release, before he actually was released. I feel like these are going to be the same comps till we find exactly where he's going to be used in formations. I'm almost thinking Nightmare Corridor. I mean, if he's doing it, look, this is the new boss. I believe it's like a absolute crazy looking. I think this was our boss that we had within the Abyssal Expedition. I'm almost positive in that. The Rocksta killing it in here again. Big shout out to Rocksta. So what do we got? We got Scion in there. We got Estrilda. We have Envy. We have Marcial. And then we do have Liberta. So again, might be too early because we're literally sitting on 1 hour since the hero was actually released. But guys, that seems like it is going to be pretty broken. And as a regular Graveborn hero, also getting the buffs. So remember, guys, the attack rating is going to go higher. The max health is going to go higher when Death Rattle is used, when he is deployed with Graveborn and Lightbearers. Again, this is going to be insane to see where this hero kind of caps up, because that is going to be a massive, massive buff in there. Very happy to see how they built this hero. Very impressed by it. Well, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.